Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are not a threat to the monarchy. The only threat to the monarchy is itself. The only threat to William, Charles, Camilla, K. Milton are themselves. Their actions are a threat. For instance, King Charles taking money from dubious sources, taking money from the Bin Laden family. William having these alleged affairs, cheating on his wife allegedly. That is a threat to the monarchy, because then tabloids find out about it and then they use it against the royal family. In exchange, they ask for the royal family to feed Meghan to them. And that's what they do. And then when Harry and Meghan dare to speak up about what has happened to them, they're called threats to the monarchy. When in reality, it is the actions of the most senior members of the royal family, the monarchy itself, that is a threat to itself, my family. Now, someone I deeply admire and respect, Dr. Shola Msnbc, had something to say about, what is happening right now with Harry and Meghan at MSNBC. Now, here is what she said kindly, my family.
I think I knew that there is racism there. It's different from the racism here. But wow. And I knew that there was like jealousy and envy inside the firm to the newer, sort of fresher, interesting members. But wow, wow, and wow. Talk about what's going on with Meghan Markle and the royals.
I think, first of all, there is no difference, okay, between the racism that plays out in the United States and the racism that plays out in the United Kingdom. There is an institutional power in place that supports a system that allows white privileged men like Jeremy Clarkson to get published with such, vitriol, because there is a system in place that targets those that it wishes to oppress by racializing and marginalizing them. This is white privilege, everybody. Welcome to white privilege.
My family, if I might add to what Dr. Shola said, my family, we see the rhetoric in the UK. The thing that happens in America is that everyone knows there is racism in America. They accept that indeed there is racism in America. In the UK, however, it's like, what racism? What racism? What racism? How can you fix a problem that exists without acknowledging that indeed there is a problem, my family? If they want to fix the problem, the virus of racism in the UK, then they need to acknowledge its existence in the first place. And that's why it makes me so sad, to hear the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, saying that Britain is not a, racist country. I'm sure he's saying that because he does not want to upset the UK tabloid press or his masters, Rupert Murdoch and the Rothmeyers. My family, Britain is very much racist. Let no one ever tell you about that. Something else. Let no one ever tell you otherwise about it. Now, my family, kindly continue hearing this, please.
Vitriol, because there is a system in place that targets those that it wishes to oppress by racializing and marginalizing them. This is white privilege, everybody. Welcome to white privilege. And the reality here when it comes to the royal family, let me tell you, my biggest takeaway, aside from their beautiful love story, of course, is that the real villain in the persecution of Harry and Meghan is the royal family.
The real villain in the persecution of Harry and Meghan is the royal family. They are the real villains, and they know they are the real villains, my family. Harry and Meghan don't want to destroy the monarchy. The monarchy wants to destroy them. William, Charles, Camilla, Kate want to destroy Harry and Meghan. And they're using the tabloid media to do their dirty work. That is what is happening right now. Make no mistake whatsoever about what is happening. That is what is happening right now as we speak. Harry and Meghan are no threats. They aren't. Because my family, if you are indeed a threat, you need to have ammunitions, or at least, something you can use to destroy the monarchy. And the royal family has so many weapons that it has used and employed against Harry and Meghan. And if you can notice what has been happening all these years, if you are someone who has been a watcher of what has been happening all these years, you will note one thing. Harry and Meghan have always been on the defense. The firm, led by Charles, Camilla, Kate, and William, they are the ones who have always been on the offense against both Harry and Meghan. And, even this woman called Alibi Brown, who once warned Meghan about marrying Prince Harry, saying that, Meghan would suffer. This family is a dysfunctional family. The royals are a dysfunctional bunch. My family, she said that then. Now, Alibi Brown said that the royal family have the biggest, PR in the world. No one matches it in the entire world. Nobody matches the royal family's PR in the entire planet Earth. And my family, when you look at that, even Harry himself said that, the Rota, for instance, are a PR arm of the royal family. And what have been the Rota, been doing the past couple of years, for 6 years now? They've been attacking Prince Harry's wife, Meghan. From the moment they, became public that they were dating. From the moment it became public. And my family, when you look at what is happening right now, the bullying still continues. 6 years later, it still continues. As a matter of fact, it continues escalating. My family, the threats posed towards, Harry, and especially Meghan, because Meghan is the target. And my family, it's so sad, really. It's so sad, really. And the people behind it are the royal family that has sent out its PR arm, the UK tabloid press, to go after both Harry and Meghan, but especially Meghan, because she's the one who is always targeted. It's always Meghan who is targeted. And my family, kindly please continue hearing, what Dr. Shola says. Please.
This is white privilege, everybody. Welcome to white privilege. And the reality here when it comes to royal family, let me tell you, my biggest takeaway, aside from their beautiful love story, of course, is that the real villain in the persecution of Harry and Meghan is the royal family. The royal family is the most powerful and oldest family in Britain, right? And part of one of the oldest institutions. They tacitly fed, approved, turned a blind eye to a toxic combination of misogyny, racism, and sexism against Meghan Markle, a member of their own family. Now, people, please, how am I meant to trust the King, Charles, his Queen Consort, Camilla, or Prince William, or any of the senior royals, when they cannot even protect their own? If they cannot stand up and support their own in terms of mental health, why should I take them seriously when they talk about mental health? If they cannot...
My family, exactly as I've been saying. What gives William and Kate Middleton the right to call themselves patrons of mental health? What gives them the right? What gives Kate Middleton the right to be a patron of a maternal mental health charity? What gives her the right? Yet when Meghan was pregnant, they never said a word to condemn abuse towards Meghan Markle, not a single word. As a matter of fact, they're the ones feeding stories about Meghan Markle to the UK tabloid press. My family even had to say that William broke the vow, the promise he had made not to pit offices against each other, as William pitted his office against Harry and Meghan. My family. Making Harry leave. So my family, even the action of Harry and Meghan leaving, it was because of William, because of his actions, because of his bullying behavior towards both Harry and Meghan. That is why they left. My family. And the real villain in this story, they have tried to say that it's Meghan. But the truth is, it has always been William, Kim Milton, Charles, and Camilla. They are the real villains in this story. Camilla just had a private party with people abusing Meghan Markle, like Jeremy Clarkson, like Piers Morgan. And right after meeting Camilla, what did they go ahead to do? They went ahead to continue abusing Meghan Markle. You can't tell me that Camilla is not a part of this. They are a part of this. And they are the real villains of the story. You know, when Harry and Meghan say something, they say it themselves. When Camilla or Charles or William wants to say something, they go to put like Jeremy Clarkson to abuse Meghan on their behalf. They go to Piers Morgan, who say that the members of the royal family thanked him for his attacks on Meghan Markle. They go to Piers Morgan, my family. And what do you call that? I call that being a coward. I call that being a coward. My family, I'm happy that Harry and Meghan are brave. They are brave, courageous, amazing people with good hearts. And thank you to every single person who has called out that misogyny of Jeremy Clarkson, his abuse of Meghan, his incitement of violence towards Meghan Markle. Thank you to every single person who has called it out. And thank you to people like Dr. Shola, who condemned his attacks towards Meghan Markle. Continue hearing this, please, kindly, my family.
To a toxic combination of misogyny, racism, and sexism against Meghan Markle, a member of their own family. Now, people, please, how am I meant to trust the King, Charles, his Queen Consort, Camilla, or Prince William, or any of the senior royals, when they cannot even protect their own? If they cannot stand up and support their own in terms of mental health, why should I take them seriously when they talk about mental health? If they cannot address issues of racism within their own institution, within their own family, why should I trust them for one single second that they're looking out for somebody like me? So I think that the biggest takeaway is that the family does not want to change. But listen, this is 2022, people. And I've always questioned the relevance of the monarchy. It's outrightly incompatible with the hard-fought rights that common people like me, those before me, have fought for. It makes no sense. And they keep abusing the power that they have simply for their own use. The only good thing the royal family have been able to achieve in all of its existence is its own survival.
The only thing that we're able to achieve is its own survival. And day in, day out, the royal family is actively doing everything in its power to ensure that it does not survive. If by attacking Meghan Markle they think it will make them survive, they should think again. People in the UK can see what they're doing, and they're fighting back. They're condemning what the farm is doing against Meghan Markle. Now, my family, I want to read a couple of comments based on what Dr. Shola said. Now, someone said that, well said, Dr. Shola. Well said. Now, someone said this, that, absolutely spot on, Dr. Shola. Someone else said that, my family, there is something also that I want to talk about. I want to talk about something else that, has also been happening. Various people have reacted to the Jeremy Clarkson's attacks on Meghan Markle, various famous people, and they're all calling out those attacks. And my family, even in segments on TV, online, you can see people who are unhappy with the misogyny at play from the UK tabloid press, and they're calling it out. My family, I want you also to see a clip, from a woman, who spoke to News Talk and said something about, what is happening right now with the misogyny of the UK tabloid press. What I've seen is that many people are asking a question. How did this get published? How did what Jeremy Clarkson said, how did it get published? Many people are asking that. My family, please kindly hear this, please. Kindly.
Wrong about Meghan and Harry. They are right. There is a level of hatred reserved for her and for them that it's true. It's real. And I noticed the people that he reserves his hatred for in general are all three women. And Jeremy Clarkson is coming from a place of arrogance, but indeed experience that makes him feel that it's okay to talk about them like this. And it's not, Shane. No,
to him, it's okay. Jeremy Clarkson, he wrote that knowing there's a market for it. He wrote that because he knew he can get away with it because of his white privilege. Think about that, my family. Can a black person like me go and write for a tabloid and say exactly word by word what Jeremy Clarkson said and say it about Kay Moulton and get away with it? Think about that for a second. If I write that for the Sun tabloid, hypothetically, do you think I could get away with it, a black person? They would have fired me on the spot. On the spot. And ensured that I couldn't get a job anywhere in the UK. That's what would have happened if a black person wrote it. But because it's Jeremy Clarkson, a white person, money, power, influence, a huge following, he'll get away with it. That's why he will get away with it. That's why he hasn't lost a single job or the deals that he has with ITV, with Amazon Studios, because he's a man who is white and privileged. That's why, my family. And that's why what he said was also basically racism towards Meghan Markle. And the hate that is spewed, the venomous hate, was reserved for women. And the Sun editor is a woman. Do you see how things work in the UK? Do you see how things work in the UK? First, you have the Prime Minister, who's an, Asian Indian person, Rishi Sunak. And then this guy goes and says that UK is not a racist country. And then they put a foreign secretary who is also part Indian, part Asian, to send immigrants to Africa, to Rwanda. A policy devoid of any morals whatsoever. And they're using us. They're using people of color. I struggle sometimes to understand. Can't these people see how they're being used against their own? Can't they see? I've even noticed that UK press even are bringing people of color to slag off Meghan Markle. You think they go there for free? No. They are paid to be there. They offered money to be there, to go there, slag off, incite hate against Meghan Markle, and to also, want other people of color to also hate on Meghan Markle. People like me won't take that bait. We know what this is about. A mixed-race black woman fell in love with a white guy, and the racists in the UK lost their minds. They've lost their minds completely, all because a mixed-race black woman fell in love with a white prince. Married into an all-white institution of the monarchy. Took so much abuse that she said, I'm leaving. We are leaving. We can't take this anymore. You know, many people aspire to reach the top of the pinnacle, to reach the top of the class system, the UK monarchy. And if you reach there, you're supposed to be grateful for reaching there, the top of the class system, the royal family, the monarchy. So when people who have been, these monarchists see that Meghan has rejected everything that all of them aspire to get to, they get angry, they get pissed off, they take it personally. How could you reject, our precious monarchy? Oh, you want to destroy our precious monarchy. My family, what Meghan rejected was constant, never-ending abuse, was constant briefings by the institution of the monarchy against her and Prince Harry. Meghan even calls herself a target because she is the target of abuse and attacks. My family, so she knows. She knows she's the target. That is what Meghan rejected. And if any single person, was ever subjected to a fraction of what Meghan had to go through, even they would say no. My family, continue hearing this, please.
Feel that it's okay to talk about them like this, and it's not, Shane.
No, it isn't. But it's Jeremy Clarkson we're talking about. I mean, what do you expect from a pig but a grunt? Like, what my kids would say if they heard your argument now? They say Jeremy Clarkson is living rent free in your head. Like, ignore him.
I do like that expression. He's not, because I wouldn't let him in. But
you have, though.
But here's the thing.
He's
do you know
jumping
what?
around your brain
I've been
right now.
ignoring the hatred and they are obsessed with her in the UK. They are obsessed with that woman.
Because she's taking on their tradition, the royal household.
But she was willing to embrace their tradition to start off, as she was. What has the woman done? She married their boy. She ate a few avocados. Listen, the whole thing of it, if you ask me, is really grim. It is probably racist. It is misogynistic. And I think that they're right. And I think that Harry being somehow seen as a patsy and her being blamed for all his actions is wholly wrong and a load of rubbish. I was ignoring or minimising or trivialising or indifferent to the hatred. And this level of hatred spewed from that man has made me go, do you know what? I've switched team. I'm on team Harry and Meghan.
My family, I wanted you to be able to hear that yourself, my family. What has Meghan done? Ate a few avocados, married their white prince, whom they think they own. I mean, how else can you explain that full-grown men, full-grown old white men, can go on TV, like Piers Morgan, for instance, can go on TV and complain, oh, she's taking our prince, she's taking our handsome, prince. A full-grown married man can go and complain about that on national TV. She's taking our prince away. When you get married, even the Bible says that when you get married, a husband shall leave his mother and father's home, and he will unite with his wife, his bride, and the two shall become one. That is what the Bible says. But in the UK, apparently, that is not allowed. Apparently in the UK. And even Harry himself said that I made the decision to leave the UK, but they blamed Meghan Markle, the woman they were abusing every single day for years, for Harry's decision to leave. Meghan never asked to leave. In Harry and Meghan documentary, Harry said that Meghan never asked to leave, but she was blamed for it. It was always her fault. All because she married a white prince while being black, while being a mixed race, light-skinned black woman. My family. And since then, they have never been able to stand it, control their hatred, control their racism. They have never ever been able to control it or hide the racism. My family. The fact is, my family, Meghan married into an all-white institution and she was rejected. And she left. She tried everything and she left. She left the UK. She left. She went to live in the US. She left. But despite that, you have people like Jeremy Clarkson abusing Meghan Markle, despite her even leaving. Piers Morgan wrote articles, xenophobic articles, saying that Meghan Markle should go back to America. Then somehow became surprised when Harry was living with her. Like, how can a husband live with his wife? How? My family. They really thought that Harry was more like Charles, someone who would just put up with watching his wife being abused and just even joining in paying abuse towards his wife. And Harry told them that I much rather be destroyed by the media. Harry said that in the Harry&Meghan documentary, I much rather be destroyed by the media than play their games with people who killed his late mother. With people who chased his mother to death and now want to do the same thing with his wife. My family. The evil of the UK press and the farm, it won't succeed. Hate will never ever win. Only love wins, my family. And please, let's keep fighting for love, because love always triumphs over hate, my family. And my family, I want to also say this, that my family, there was never a reason to hate on Meghan Markle because she never did anything wrong. The racists are angry because she dared look at a white prince they think they owned. Even now, they still think they own Harry. Even now. My family, Meghan only fell in love. That's all she did. She only ever fell in love. That's all that Meghan did. And despite a woman pleading for her life, still, it isn't enough to stop the hate campaign, my family. King Charles and Camilla dined with people who drum up hate against Harry and Meghan, who incite hate against both Harry and Meghan. I mean, here Meghan, once again, begging for her life, pleading for her life.
You are making people want to kill me. It's not just a tabloid. It's not just some story. You are making me scared, right? And like that night, to be up and down in the middle of the night, looking down my hallway, like, are we safe? Are the doors locked? Is security on? Is everything? That's real. Are my babies safe? And you've created it for what? Because you're bored, or because it sells your papers, or it makes you feel better about your own life? It's real what you're doing. And that's the piece I don't think people, you are making people want.
My family, you've heard from Meghan herself. And Jeremy Clarkson proves Meghan's point, my family. Meghan said these words, you are making people want to kill me. Jeremy Clarkson is making people want to kill Meghan Markle. That's what's happening right now, right here. Meghan did not say that it's a tabloid media that wants to kill her. No. She said that they are making people want to harm her. As I said before, Jeremy Clarkson, Piers Morgan won't physically hurt Harry and Meghan because they're cowards. They want someone else to do it for them. They want someone to act by proxy. That's what they want. And my family, we must keep calling out this hate campaign right now. We must keep calling it out. My family, life is precious. People of color, mixed race, black, brown, are human beings. And they deserve to be treated with basic human dignity, with basic human rights, my family. And the villains in this story are King Charles, William, Camilla, and Kim Milton. I say that because it's the truth. It's the truth. It's not a lie, it's the truth. My family. They are the ones who want to destroy Harry and Meghan. Harry and Meghan have always been on the defense. If you haven't noticed, please just think about this. Every interview that Harry and Meghan have done, let's say the New Can See or the Oprah interview, even this recent one, Harry and Meghan documentary, they have always been on the defense. It's only this last one, the Harry and Meghan documentary, that Harry and Meghan are on the offense. Only on this one are they on the offense. They are the ones right now, they're fighting back. They're naming names, like how they named Prince William as being the bully. They named Prince William as being part of this smear campaign against both Harry and Meghan, leaking stories against Harry and Meghan. They named him. Only this time, Harry and Meghan have been on the offense. Only this time. Because they are fed up with the abuse. They are fed up with the lies. They are fed up of being targeted by the farm. They are fed up. And they're fighting back. And they're doing the right thing to fight back. My family, now I want to your opinion, please. What do you think about all of this kindly? With that and so much more, stay tuned to our next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and support our welcome family on YouTube. Please keep praying for Harry and Meghan. And thank you to Dr. Shola for calling it out, my family. The attacks on Harry and Meghan. And for telling the world exactly what the villains in this story are. It's the royal family itself. Not Harry and Meghan. May God bless Harry, Meghan, Archie, Bedana, and Doria Ragland. And please stay tuned to our next video. Love you always and forever. God bless Meghan, Harry, Archie, Bedana, Doria Ragland, and all of you members of the squad at home. And please stay tuned to our next video. Love you always and forever. Before I end this podcast, I want you to hear, my family, what the Prime Minister said about Jeremy Clarkson's comments. So you understand, my family, the rot is deep. The rot is deep, my family. Here it is, kindly, please. Listen to this, what the Prime Minister said.
Jeremy Clarkson's been criticised in the last 24 hours or so. In fact, I think he's, in many ways, just apologised in the last couple of hours about comments he wrote in the Sunday Times yesterday regarding the
Let me pause there. First of all, he has not apologized for what he said about Meghan Markle. He has not apologized. Let me correct that, please. He has not apologized.
Sunday Times yesterday regarding the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle. Do you feel that, actually, for lots of commentators, that kind of misogyny and racism to a degree is acceptable in some of our newspapers or among some of our well-known commentators?
I think for everyone in public life, language matters. You asked about racism. Now, I absolutely, I've seen some of the things that have been said. I absolutely don't believe that Britain is a racist country, and I'd hope that as our nation's first British Asian Prime Minister, when I say that, it carries some weight. I'm really proud of our country, its culture, its resilience, its beauty, and actually it's an enormous privilege to champion Britain and indeed its institutions, like the monarchy, when I'm out and about on the world stage as I am here today.
My family, he was asked a question. He was asked a question. And even he couldn't bring himself to say, no. I mean, this was what he was asked. do you feel that actually, for a lot of commentators, that kind of misogyny and racism, to a degree, is acceptable in some of our newspapers or among some of our well-known commentators? My family was asked, it was a yes or no question, a yes or no, yes or no question. My family, just say racism is evil. That kind of language, rhetoric used by Jeremy Clarkson against Meghan Markle, just say it's evil, it's racism, it's wrong. Yet the Prime Minister says that language matters. He didn't even say anything. To me, he said nothing. He said nothing. To me, he said nothing, basically. To me, he did not even answer the question. He deflected. Completely deflected. So, how can you tackle racism if you have people denying racism in the first place? How? People of color in the UK, I feel sad. I feel sad. I feel sad for you. But my family, we will continue to support you, because in this country, in the UK, clearly there is so much racism, and time again they keep denying it. Yet it exists. People of color, please speak up. Don't keep quiet. Speak up. Speak up. Make your voices heard. Make your voices heard, please. People of color in the UK, make your voices heard. My family, please tell me what you think about all this kindly. I want to hear your opinion, please. He doesn't even answer that question. He doesn't. My family. Even someone said that, Sunak, you are not answering the question. These forms of journalism should be legally forbidden and condemned by the Prime Minister, but he isn't condemning it. Women of color, they matter. Even James Cameron, when Kim Milton was compared to a shop window mannequin, the former Prime Minister, David Cameron in the UK, defended the Duchess of Cambridge, saying that the person who said that, whose name was Hilary Mantel, was completely wrong. He said that what she said about Kim Milton is completely misguided. My family. Yet, the current Prime Minister can't even bring himself to say that, to condemn racism, to acknowledge that what Jeremy Clarkson said was wrong. He can't even bring himself to say that. These people are controlled and owned by the UK tabloid press, and they live in fear of the UK press. Because once they turn on you, it's over for you. It's over for you. For you to become Prime Minister, you need to speak to Rupert Murdoch and Rothmere. Murdoch owns the Sun tabloid. So you understand why Sunak does not want to, make Murdoch angry. My family, hate runs rampant in the UK. Racism runs rampant in the UK. People of color, we support you. We are with you. We feel sad that people in power or position of influence, like even the Prime Minister, can't even acknowledge racism exists in the UK. Yet we see it every single day from the UK tabloid press. Make no mistake, we will continue condemning racism whenever we see it. And Rishi Sunak is a disgrace, as a Prime Minister, a disgrace. He got elected by his colleagues and not the UK public. And even he knows that. No wonder he can't even bring himself to speak the truth or even answer a question. My family, I want your opinion, please, kindly. With that and so much more, stay tuned to our next video. Love you always and forever. God bless, protect Harry, Meghan, Archie, Betana, and people of color in the UK. Stay tuned to our next video. Love you always and forever. To all the people of color in the UK fighting racism and condemning abuse, we stand in support of you. Stay tuned to our next video. Hello, members of Cisco Family TV. First of all, I want to say thank you for all your support that you give us to our channel. We don't take it for granted that you support this channel. I want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts for lending out your support and fighting against injustices, supporting Prince Harry and Meghan, showing them love. Love will always triumph over evil, and for that I say thank you. Good will always prevail over bad. Thank you so much for all your support. Thank you so much for joining this community, this amazing community of the Cisco Family TV. I love you so much, family, from the bottom of my heart, and I wish you all the best. May you have a great day, and I hope that you enjoyed this video and learned a lot of things. With that and so much more, stay tuned to our next video. Leave a comment below, like, and subscribe. Love you, family, always and forever. Sayonara.